What's up, conscious creators? I speak to a lot of people who say to me, Alex, I watched one of your non-attachment videos and I really resonated with it, but non-attachment is hard. So I wanted to make a video showing you how non-attachment can actually be easy when you know these two things. Number one, that your attachment to someone or something is perpetuated by the belief that you need them or that you need it in order to be happy and at peace. I'll say it again for clarity. Your psychological attachment to something, someone, a relationship, an idea, a belief, or a situation is held up by the belief that you need them or you need this thing to be happy and at peace. And that belief is false, and I'll go into why. The second thing that makes non-attachment easy is realizing, not through me trying to get you to believe something, but through your own investigation, that who you essentially are already is non-attached, and that the attachment is a concept in your mind, a collection of repetitive thoughts, images, and feelings. And so to stay non-attached is to stay knowingly as your essential self, as your deeper self. Yes, you don't even have to try to be non-attached when you realize this. What you already are at the core of your being already is accepting, surrendered, and doesn't need to let go. And so being non-attached is easy when you stay knowingly as your essential self, instead of getting lost in repetitive thoughts, images, and feelings. These are not essential to who you are, because if you were to remove them, nothing would be taken away from who or what you essentially are. And so that proves that they cannot be essential to you. Follow me along for a little experiment here, right? You are aware, correct? Just go directly to your experience here. When I ask you, are you aware? There's this instinctive knowing that you are aware, right? And then there's what you're aware of, your thoughts, your feelings, your sense perceptions. And the attachment is a collection of usually repetitive thoughts, mental images, and feelings, sensations in the body, correct? If you don't think you are attached to anything, just pretend you are. You're thinking about someone or something over and over. You're worrying about it, you're trying to control an outcome. Perhaps you feel like you need to do something or be something special in order to be worthy. And perhaps you feel that without it or without them, you won't be truly or fully happy. Those are thoughts, and they're often accompanied by feelings too, which are sensations in the body. They're things that you're aware of. And so there you are, aware that you're aware, and aware of what you're aware of. In this case, thoughts and feelings. Now imagine if we took all of the thoughts away. What would be left? Well, the feelings would remain, right? But also you would remain. The thoughts cannot be essential to you, because if we were to take them away and they were to disappear, you don't disappear, you stay here, silently watching. Just pretend you can't think of anything right now. Where does any bit of you actually go? It doesn't. You're still here, still 100% you, right? Now let's say we take away the feelings too. What's left now? Well, the thoughts and the feelings are gone, but you're still here. And nothing of you disappeared when the feelings disappeared. You're still here, still 100% you, silently watching. There is what you're aware of, then there is awareness. There are thoughts, feelings, and sense perceptions, which we could call objects of awareness. And then there is the awareness that those objects arise within. And this awareness is what solely remains when we remove all of the objects of awareness. It's who or what you essentially are. The thoughts, mental images, and feelings of attachment aren't who you essentially are, because if we are to take them away, who or what you essentially are is left, still 100% present, still 100% intact. So true non-attachment is not something that's done through the mind. It's not a new belief or a new idea. It's not a mental concept. True non-attachment is resting knowingly as who you essentially are, as awareness. And experiencing that when you remain as awareness, when you rest in the knowledge of your deeper self, you don't need to be attached or obsessively try to control an outcome, because if there is any action to take, that action you take as awareness will ultimately be the right one for your particular journey. You trust yourself and you realize that obsessively trying to control an outcome makes it less likely that that outcome will manifest. You realize that trying to control a person or a situation to get something actually makes it less likely that you will get it. That the psychological attachment ultimately just pushes what you want further away sooner. And that non-attachment actually allows the receiving of what you want more likely. That releasing equals receiving and allows you to touch a deeper sense of peace within you at the same time as allowing your creations to unfold naturally and without inner resistance. So the feeling of liberation that comes with non-attachment is created by resting as the awareness that you essentially are, resting as yourself and discovering the nature of your essential self, discovering the nature of who you essentially are, the nature of awareness, and discovering that the nature of awareness as expansive, spacious, wide open, accepting, peaceful, and any concepts of being attached or needing to let go just simply melt away. Just like the space of a room naturally accepts the things that are within it, its nature is acceptance. The awareness that you essentially are is naturally accepting of the things within it. Its nature is acceptance. And from that place, it's easy to realize no experience, person, substance, or thing can add anything or take anything away from who you essentially are. Yes, those things can be desired and those things can be enjoyed. But when you rest as awareness, when you rest in the knowledge of who you essentially are, you do it as a celebration of your inherent peace and happiness, as opposed to desiring them because you believe you need them to be added onto you, or you need them to become permanently happy or arrive at some ultimate peace. You realize the peace you sought in external things is already inside you. Because true peace is not needing for things to be different to be happy. Yes, you may have a desire for things to change. You may want to do things to change a situation, but it's no longer born out of a feeling of lack and limitation. It's action on behalf of the truth of who you are as you rest in the truth of who you are. And you realize that you can grow and change and expand and improve in many areas. But you're not trying to grow, change, expand, and improve to then become worthy of peace and happiness. You're doing it purely for the joy in growth and expansion, and you stay rooted in the knowledge of your deeper self. And perhaps even after you realize this, you get to a point where you just forget. And you find yourself getting attached to something again, a person or a belief or the situation you're in or an idea of the future. And you fall back into the belief that this thing or this relationship or this outcome is going to be the thing to make you complete or in some sustained happiness, permanently elevated above where you already are. And you fall back into the belief that if you let go of the attachment to this thing, that means you won't actually get it. And then you get yourself into hot water, you get frustrated again, you feel that sense of psychological pain, that sense of lack. You get attached to trying to control the situation, and it only seems to make things worse and put you even further away from what you originally wanted. But this time, instead of falling asleep and falling down the rabbit hole, you wake back up and you remember the knowledge of your deeper self. You become aware that you're aware, and you become aware of yourself as awareness. You rest in the knowledge of who you essentially are: expansive, wide open, spacious awareness, inherently accepting, inherently at peace, and any concepts of non-attachment just melt away in the peace of being you. And by the way, a few more slots have opened up for the free one-to-one with me to see if you'd be a good fit for the Consciousness Revolution program over at speaktoalex.com. If we're a good fit together, this program will be tailor-made for you to take you deeper into the truth of who you are, and from awareness, consciously create the life that you want. You know, the people that I work with want to discover deeper states of peace and happiness within themselves and use them as a springboard for creating something in the world that serves others. My clients are willing to invest in themselves, willing to do a deeper investigation into themselves and take action to create what they want. They're conscious entrepreneurs, creatives, or just people who have enthusiasm for personal and spiritual growth. People who are ready to take action and solve their problems. So if any of that sounds like you, head over to speaktoalex.com and book a time for us to chat about solving your problems. And with that being said, like this video if you liked it, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos helping you with conscious personal growth. Peace.